I owe $250,000 in taxes. If you're an entrepreneur and you want some advice on paying taxes as an entrepreneur, you might want to watch this video. Hey, what's up you guys? It's Nathan with Freedom Influencer, and in this video, we're gonna be talking about taxes. I'm gonna share what I owe as an entrepreneur for taxes, and I wanna give you guys some advice about paying taxes as an entrepreneur. Now, before we even get into the video, I'm gonna put a huge disclaimer right now, okay? I am not a tax professional. I just am gonna simply share my experience with taxes and hopefully give you guys something that you can learn from, okay? So I'm not a tax professional, but I'm gonna share my numbers with you, okay? And I remember when I started my business thinking that if I could reach 6 figures in income annually, I would be over the moon exciting. But I want you guys to be optimistic about your business, no matter where you're at. I don't care if you haven't made your first dollar online or made your first dollar in your business. I want you to think big, okay? And for me to think that I have to pay almost $250,000 in taxes for last year is absolutely mind-blowing. And I'm gonna share my exact number with you guys right now, because my wife actually just met with our CPA today and came back with our number, which what we owe in taxes this year is $243,000. Now, here's the cool thing. I'm gonna share a couple things that I know about taxes, what I looked at before I really started making that kind of an income to be able to pay that, and hopefully you guys take some value away from this video and apply it into your own business. First and foremost, there's a huge misconception out there about paying taxes that I wanna share with you guys, and it has to do with tax brackets. Now, this is all dependent upon where you're at in the world. So for those of you who are not in the United States, I can't speak to this. But for those of you who do live in the United States, you're starting and growing your own business, this will apply to you. The first thing that you need to understand is that every state is different with taxes. And what I mean by that is there are specific tax brackets that you will have to pay depending upon the amount of money that you make. Now, all of the numbers that I'm gonna give for this example are just examples. They are not true, as in actual numbers. It depends on your state, and I'm just gonna be wigging these numbers just as an example to help you gain an understanding of this. Here's the big misconception, okay? For my wife and I, we fall in one of the higher tax brackets this year, and that is 37%. Now, what you have to understand about this, depending on what tax bracket you're in, let's just say that you happen to fall into the 37%. And I think in Washington State, again, these are just examples, but I think it's over $400,000, then you fall into 37% taxes that you have to pay. Now, this is the big misconception that people have, and they don't completely understand this, okay? Is that when you're paying, whatever tax bracket you fall into, if you're above the first one, you're not paying that percentage in taxes for your entire income, okay? It stair steps in increments. So let's just say, for example, that the first tax bracket is up to $50,000. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know, but it's just an example. And we'll say that if you make $50,000 or less, then you have to pay 25% in taxes, okay? Now, if you make above that, and we'll just say the next tax bracket, for example, is $50,000 to $75,000. And for this example, we'll say that you have to pay 27%. So if you make less than $75,000 and more than $50,000 for this example, then you have to pay 27%. If you fall into that tax bracket, you're not paying 27% taxes on your entire income. All of your income up to $50,000, you are paying 25% taxes. And then anything above $50,000, so basically you're gonna be paying, if you reach the top of that tax bracket for this example, $75,000, you will be paying 27% on $25,000. So it stair steps in increments. It's really, it's in my opinion, it's overcomplicated and it's stupid, but that's just the way it is. So for that example, let's just say that you made $74,999. You would pay 25% on the $50,000, and then you would pay 27% on the $25,000. So I hope that makes sense to you. Now, how can you as an entrepreneur set yourself up for success when Uncle Sam comes for his money? And this is something that I did that I think that you guys should implement. And so when I started the year out in the lowest tax bracket, it was a fresh year. What I did is I started the year out by setting aside money for taxes in the next tax bracket up, okay? So before I made $50,000, I was saving to put into taxes for this last year. I was saving in the next tax bracket, and for our example was over $50,000. Once I reached that next tax bracket, I believe this is what I did. I started saving ahead, even the next, so two above the tax bracket that I was in, okay? So that's just a little tip of something that I did to ensure that I knew that I was gonna be covered and basically covering my butt when Uncle Sam was gonna come for his $243,000. Now, I did save plenty of money. I do have enough. I don't have to worry about it. And again, this year, I know that I won't have to worry about it again because I'm implementing the technique that I just shared with you. Now, here's one of the biggest issues that entrepreneurs have when they start a business and they start making money. Now,